Do y'all remember this rumor that actually came from X-1S saying Black Myth WuKong is not coming to Xbox due to a memory leak error? Game is basically finished and they're still working hard for it to pass Xbox certification, but it's still delayed indefinitely. Do y'all remember the leak? Now, here's the challenge with this particular conversation. A lot of people have hung their hats and sworn that this thing is actually the result of the Series S. Ladies and gentlemen, a memory leak is actually based on your game code. It is not anything having to do with the hardware, because if you go read up on what a memory leak is, if you read up on how to detect them, how to actually prevent them, how to troubleshoot for them, you'll realize that this is more about RAM storage in the way that your software processes data, how it stores stuff temporarily on RAM and actually pretty much dumps them. Unreal Engine is a C++ engine, so you're likely to see memory leak issues on this engine regardless of the hardware that you're using. I made a comment in one of my other videos and I said, I think because Black Myth WuKong runs on the Steam Deck, it can also run on the Series S. I think Xbox's certification is probably putting the game in a position where they have to make it run properly and not release it in the state that it is, because the memory leak issue may be causing crashes as well, and that's based on the developer's game code more than anything else. It also could be that the other rumor that we heard, that PlayStation, assisted maybe financially, maybe logistically in their own port getting done, could have allowed for game science to basically prioritize that port over the Xbox port. And so now that they've gotten the game out, they're working on that port. I also saw, and this kind of continues to lend credence to what I'm seeing, that the game itself running on the Steam Deck after the new update is actually quite good. Before this update, I'd never actually played it on the Steam Deck, and I decided yesterday, let me go ahead and play this game on the Steam Deck. Let me see what's going on. And I was pleasantly surprised. In fact, my metric was, let me see if I can actually, play around and fight this boss and do some real serious damage. And, I was able to get his health to a little bit less than a quarter. I mean, to me, the Steam Deck is basically more of a tool, and I'll tell you exactly why I actually have one. It wasn't to take my games anywhere. Whenever I'm traveling, I usually am not really playing video games until maybe I reach my destination if I want to play. But the reason I got a Steam Deck is because once upon a time, I was working on a game project that I wanted to ensure that optimization was never going to be an obstacle for us. Now, the project is canceled, basically, put the whole darn thing on ice. But what I wanted to ensure was, if we were to apply for Xbox or PlayStation certification, that we did not have any surprises when we got those development kits. And so I have my Series X as a development kit as well, if I were to pursue that application process any further, so that I can easily start testing the game on hardware. But I didn't have anything like a Series S. And seeing how all of these conversations about the Series S was going on, I thought, why not find a device that I can actually package the game and run on that is less powerful than the Series S, that doesn't give me any restrictions, so that when we get to the Series S, there are no surprises when it comes to the performance of the game. And behold, the Steam Deck made a lot of sense. You can actually just package your game using the Steam OS from Unreal Engine 4 or 5, whichever engine you're using, and you can get it into your game, and you can basically start playing your game. And after installing, say, some, benchmark tools, you can see how your game is performing, at what resolution, at what FPS is going on. So all that being said, the Series S is a more powerful hardware than the, Steam Deck. And somehow the game is playing. Now, I know somebody is going to point out a few things to me, because I also saw them myself. And those two things are the RAM requirements. Let's go ahead and look at the WuKong RAM requirements, where it's asking for 16 gigs of memory in terms of RAM. But here's the thing, simply because the way memory leaks actually are caused, or if that's actually the issue, then RAM is not necessarily your biggest problem. Your biggest challenge is your CPU and your GPU or APU, of which we're seeing how the CPU and the GPU or APU on the Series S being better than the Steam Deck is not, in a sense, hindering it. So the best possible situation that we can actually point to right now, if you notice, there was a little, glitch there because you have to basically reload an entire new character mesh. But the biggest, thing that we can say and the best position that we can be in right now is to say that the developers are truly, as they said, working on their port. And even the PlayStation port and the PC port still have issues. So again, this is not to even say the Series S. We haven't even seen the Series S version play. We've seen the PC version play. We've seen the PS5 version play, and we can tell you that the game still needs some work in the department of optimization and performance. And it's not something that cannot be achieved. But again, because of today's AAA industry, because of big money in video games, deadlines have basically been the biggest hiccup in optimization more than anything else. It's not necessarily the fact that the game cannot be optimized. I mean, we saw Yakuza Kiwami make its way to the Nintendo Switch. I've seen people say, well, it was a PS3 game. Mortal Kombat 11 is on the Nintendo Switch, folks. I mean, I know you guys want to talk about that game, but, it's there. MK11 is also there. So this whole thing about, oh, the game is a PS3 game or it's a this game or it's a that game. No, the Switch hardware is underpowered in a sense, but it's still capable of playing some games. As long as the developers are willing to do the work, those games are going to play on the Nintendo Switch. And as long as the developers at Game Science are doing their job, their game's going to play on the Series S and X without any in fact, I'm sure it'll play very similar to the X, to the PlayStation 5 right now, because those two hardware pieces are on the same, length. So, folks, all this talk about the Series S being this problem or whatever it is, I think it's wishful thinking from people who want to make themselves feel good that they did not buy into the Series S ecosystem. That's your business. But as somebody who's played on PC for the longest time, I can tell you that coming into a platform at the low tier is quite normal. You don't always have all the money at your, beck and call, especially when you're in a place where you probably want to buy two consoles. The Series S is a perfect solution for anybody who wants to come into that ecosystem because they have the best of both worlds. They can own a PlayStation 5, they can own a Series S at a lower cost, or they can own a PlayStation 5 or own a PC, whichever one they want to go with. The Series S, to me, from a value proposition, from a hardware to performance to cost proposition, is, in my opinion, the best thing ever. I think these consoles basically are in that, they're in that place at the end of the day. So thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I know a lot of this stuff is rumors at the end of the day, but when you're looking at the hardware, you can already tell that Game Science's official statement makes more sense than anything else, which is that they're working on the optimization. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.